Have you ever wondered why some days feel like a constant uphill battle, while others flow effortlessly like a gentle breeze? It's easy to think that our happiness or frustration depends on the circumstances around us, the people we meet, the situations we face, or the random events that cross our paths. But what if I told you that much of what we experience, the good and the bad, actually comes down to one simple thing: our perspective? That's right. The way we see the world shapes our reality. And today, we're going to explore how changing your perspective can transform your life in ways you might never have imagined. We all look at the world through a lens shaped by our past experiences, our upbringing, and the beliefs we've accumulated over the years. This lens can often make us feel trapped, as if we're stuck in a never-ending loop of negative thoughts or patterns. But here's the truth: the lens isn't fixed. It's not something you're born with and doomed to carry forever. It's malleable, adjustable. It can be cleaned, polished, and even replaced. Imagine having the power to shift your perspective at any moment, to see the same situation from a completely different angle, one that brings clarity, peace, and understanding instead of confusion and pain. Think about a time when you felt wronged by someone. Maybe it was a friend who betrayed your trust, a colleague who took credit for your work, or a stranger who cut you off in traffic. It's so easy to feel anger, resentment, or even hatred in these moments. But what if, instead of focusing on how you were wronged, you shifted your perspective to ask, what might this person be going through? Could they be acting out of fear, insecurity, or pain of their own? This small shift in perspective can make a world of difference. It doesn't mean you condone the behavior, but it does mean you no longer let it control your peace of mind. Changing perspective starts with understanding that we have the power to choose how we respond to the world. We can choose to see every experience, no matter how difficult or painful, as an opportunity for growth. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" This simple question shifts your mind from a place of victimhood to a place of empowerment. It turns every obstacle into a stepping stone, every challenge into a lesson, and every setback into a chance for a comeback. There's a story about a farmer who had a horse that ran away. When the neighbors heard, they came to console him, saying, "Such bad luck." The farmer simply replied, "Maybe." A few days later, the horse returned, bringing with it 3 wild horses. The neighbors exclaimed, "What good luck?" The farmer again replied, "Maybe." Then, the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses and fell, breaking his leg. The neighbors once more expressed their sympathy, and again the farmer said, "Maybe." Soon after, the army came to the village, conscripting all the young men, but they left the farmer's son because of his injury. The neighbors thought this was great fortune, but the farmer only said, "Maybe." This story shows us that what seems like a curse today might be a blessing tomorrow. It's a reminder that we often label things too quickly as good or bad without understanding their full implications. Life is far more complex than our immediate judgments, and sometimes the greatest gifts come wrapped in adversity. When you learn to stop labeling every experience and start seeing things as they truly are, just moments passing by, neither inherently good nor bad, you open up to a deeper peace within yourself. Perspective change also involves being present in the moment. Think about how often we live in our heads, replaying past mistakes or worrying about future uncertainties. When we're stuck in the past, we carry guilt, regret, and resentment. When we're fixated on the future, we're filled with anxiety and fear. But what if you decided right now to focus on this very moment, to recognize that the past is over and the future is yet to come, and the only thing that truly exists is the here and now? Suddenly, life becomes simpler. Problems shrink, stress dissipates, and you find a calm that was always there, hidden beneath the layers of distraction. Another powerful shift in perspective comes from practicing gratitude. We tend to focus on what we lack, what we want, and what we think we need to be happy. But if you pause and take a moment each day to recognize what you already have, you'll notice something amazing. The mere act of acknowledging your blessings, no matter how small they may seem, changes the way you see the world. It shifts your mind from a place of scarcity to a place of abundance. It's like switching from a dimly lit room to one filled with sunlight. You start to see that life is full of wonders you had previously overlooked. Take a moment to think about the simple things, the breath in your lungs, the warmth of the sun on your face, or the sound of laughter with a friend. These moments are often fleeting, yet they are filled with profound beauty and meaning if you just take the time to notice them. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's about feeling it deep within, allowing that sense of appreciation to expand and fill your heart. When you practice this regularly, you begin to cultivate a mindset that naturally seeks out the good, the positive, and the joyful in life. Now let's talk about letting go. One of the most profound shifts in perspective comes from releasing what no longer serves you, whether it's a grudge you've held onto, a mistake you keep replaying, or a fear that's been weighing you down. Imagine you're carrying a heavy bag on a long journey. The more you carry, the more exhausted you feel. But what if you chose to put that bag down, to release the weight you've been carrying for so long? Letting go doesn't mean you forget what happened. It means you stop allowing it to dominate your present. You give yourself permission to move forward, unburdened by the past. Think of the mind as a glass of muddy water. If you keep stirring it, the water remains cloudy and unclear. But if you let it sit still for a while, the mud settles and the water becomes clear again. Letting go is like that, allowing the mind to settle, to find clarity amidst the confusion. It's about understanding that holding on to anger, regret, or resentment only clouds your judgment and keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity. But when you let go, you make room for peace, for joy, for new experiences that can bring happiness into your life. Perspective change isn't always easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. It requires practice, patience, and a willingness to see things differently. Start small. The next time you're faced with a difficult situation, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is there another way to see this? Can I find a perspective that brings me peace instead of pain? Over time, this practice will become more natural, and you'll find yourself more resilient, more compassionate, and more at ease with the world around you. Another aspect of changing perspective is understanding that nothing in life is permanent. Just as the seasons change, so do our circumstances, our feelings, and our thoughts. We often become attached to our current state, whether it's a happy moment we wish to prolong, or a challenging time we desperately want to escape. But when you realize that everything is in a constant state of flux, you begin to see that there is freedom in letting things come and go as they will. You start to understand that your emotions, your thoughts, and even your experiences are like waves on the ocean, rising, peaking, and eventually subsiding. This understanding brings a profound sense of peace. You learn not to cling to joy or resist pain because both are transient. You realize that it's not the storm that makes you suffer, but your resistance to it. By embracing the flow of life, you become like a river that moves gracefully around rocks, instead of crashing into them. You learn to navigate life with a sense of ease, knowing that whatever comes your way, it too shall pass. Remember, changing your perspective isn't about denying reality or ignoring problems. It's about choosing how you engage with the world. It's about realizing that you are not a passive victim of your circumstances, but an active participant in your own experience. You have the power to shape your reality by the way you choose to see it. So the next time you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or frustrated, remember that you hold the key to a different experience. The world is not fixed. It is fluid, ever-changing, just like your thoughts and emotions. By changing your perspective, you change your life. It's not magic, it's a mindset, and it's available to you right here, right now. Imagine waking up tomorrow with a new lens, one that sees possibility instead of limitation, love instead of fear, peace instead of chaos. What would your life look like? How would you feel? The power to change is already within you. All it takes is a shift in perspective. Finally, remember that your perspective is your power. It's the difference between seeing the world in black and white or in vibrant color. It's the difference between feeling trapped and feeling free. And the best part, you can change it whenever you choose. So start today. Begin to see your life through a new lens, one filled with compassion, understanding, and hope. And watch how everything changes.